Hi everybody, Ian here, and today I want to talk to you about The Shoe Creeper, which is my standalone spooky adventure for readers who are aged 9 and above. It's set in a seaside town called Seaton, which is in Devon on the south coast of the UK, and it is about a boy named Ethan who has got so much going on in his life that everything just gets a bit more complicated when the Shoe Creeper comes to town. Now, the Shoe Creeper is an original monster, and the idea came to me because you know when you're out and about and you see a random shoe on the side of the road and you kind of think, why is that there? It just is a bit bizarre. That somebody left one shoe behind and they're hobbling, it just is a bit odd. Why would somebody leave a shoe behind? So I decided that there's this creature called the Shoe Creeper who kidnaps people and leaves a shoe behind as a calling card, like a mark of their territory. So if you see a shoe out and about, watch out, the Shoe Creeper's around. The thing that's a bit different about this compared to my other stories, apart from the fact that this is a spooky story, is I wanted to include something a bit more serious, and that is dementia. Now, I know that dementia is a challenging topic for many, and I know that we experience it differently. I've had several family members with it. I've had, friends that are going through experiencing people in their own lives with dementia. And I also know that dementia is something that happens in different ways. It has different symptoms. There are different types that occur at different speeds. So I can't obviously cover all of that here. But one thing that I really wanted to cover is how I've seen a lot of people that I know feel like when they're speaking to people in their lives with dementia, it goes unheard, it doesn't register, and it can be really hard because you feel like you are not connecting with that loved person. So for me, in this story, I wanted to put across my kind of personal belief, which I know won't apply to everybody, that when you do speak to somebody with dementia, they can still hear it, they can still take it on. And I wanted to just read a little segment of the book to give you a sense of what I'm talking about. Now, the main character is called Ethan, and he's been feeling a little bit sad because his grand's memory is kind of showing that there are gaps in the memory, and he doesn't really understand how she could have changed from who she was when he last saw her to how she is today. So this scene is where he's having a conversation with her, okay? So he sighed. So far, what she was saying didn't sound full of the hope he wanted her to give. He knew what she meant, but didn't understand why her behaviour now was so different to last night. She reached out her hand to hold his. What you need to know is, no matter what I say or what I do, there is no power on earth that will ever make me stop loving you. Brains are complicated things, a bit like computers, I suspect, but over time, maybe the wires can get a bit loose and the connections can start to go. She looked him straight in the eyes. You mustn't worry about what's happening to me. My soul is as strong as it has ever been, and one day when I leave this life behind me, my spirit will live on, and it will know all the kindness and understanding my family have shown me, even from times I've not reacted as you'd like. I'm still me on the inside, no matter what I say or what I remember from day to day. Is that clear? He nodded. Good, she replied. My wiring may be a little off, but I'll always be me in my core, and I'll always think the world of my favourite grandson. I'm your only grandson, he said quietly. Well then, she replied, you know I'm telling the truth. So that's a section of The Shoe Creeper. It's from early on in the story, and things do get more challenging for Ethan and his family, but there are still lots of light-hearted moments. There's still a lot of fun to be had, even though it is spooky and it does have creepy moments too. I try and think of it as like the witches. You've got laser blasts coming out of witches' eyes and they melt people. You've got bone-crunching giants in the BFG. Sometimes you have a bit of darkness, but the way that I ground that is to also have a bit of fun along the way. So please do check it out. Take care.